Although papers are structured in the IMRAD order, we don't recommend writing in the IMRAD order. Instead, we recommend initially drafting a rough title and abstract before drafting your main text to help you focus on your aims and key messages. When drafting the main text, try writing the methods first. This section is factual and should be the easiest section to write. Then write up your results. Finalize your figures and tables so it is easy to match up the methods with the results. At that point, you can decide the overall message of your findings. Once you have decided on the main message of your data, you will be able to evaluate this data and compare your work with that of other researchers in the discussion section. This will also help you write the conclusion after considering the strengths and weaknesses of your study. Now you know the conclusion and key findings and key methods, it is easier to work backwards and write the introduction last. Include only the most important background and definitions for the reader to understand why you did what you did in the study, ending your introduction with a focused aim and objective. By writing the introduction at the end or towards the end, you can tailor it to be specific to the key messages in your discussion and results. Then, right at the end of drafting, finalize the abstract and title. When writing, it is important that you link your ideas in a logical way. Overall, the flow of information and the logical structure of your paper will look like this. The information in the introduction goes from general to specific. The introduction is typically the shortest part of the paper and is heavily supported by references. After factually describing the methods and results, the flow of information in the discussion goes from specific to general as you aim to end your paper by indicating the broader significance of your work. Typically, the discussion forms the largest part of your paper. When you have finished drafting, it's important to check that you logically link your ideas throughout the manuscript for overall flow and consistency. Although at first glance, it may appear that this is a linear structure from beginning to end, each section will need to tie in to the section before it and will need to have a specific or general emphasis. So, the aims at the end of the introduction have to be directly relevant to the problem or the research question, or else your study is answering a different question and has already failed. The results need to have corresponding methods to explain where the results come from, and the results that you present need to clearly link to the study aim. Don't add extra findings that aren't relevant to the aim or for which you haven't stated a method. The conclusion is only as strong as the results and variables studied, and they cannot be too broad or certain. Similarly, the conclusion has to consider the limitations of the methods and study design. Finally, the conclusion has to be relevant to the study aim to show you have fulfilled your promise to the reader. And again, it has to link and it has to directly answer the research question asked in the introduction. Don't forget at the end of drafting to finalize your title and abstract.